So the way I made the film Živan Makes a Punk Festival is very strange. I know that guy for like 15 years, and through those years we became really good friends. I played with my band on his festival 8 years ago. 6 years ago I made the first film about him, which was my first documentary I ever made. And this is my second documentary I ever made. It's also with and about Živan. And actually we planned to make some kind of a hybrid film, mixture of documentary and fiction, where the fiction part would be based on Živan's script, which is based on his life, and the documentary parts would be, the beginning of the film was planned to be the organizing of the festival and making of the fiction film. We shot for 4 days while he was organizing the festival, and before we had the chance to start production on the fiction film, Živan went to the psychiatry hospital where he stayed for 3 months, and after he came out he was heavily medicated. So I realized that the film we were planning to make was dead. But we had the material that we shot for those 4 days. It was 24 hours of material, and I kind of sensed that there's some story to be found there. And even though when I was shooting, I didn't have any kind of style, or I wasn't thinking about that I will one day make a film out of that material. I only planned to use like 2 minutes, some shots, like to have a voiceover with that. And I had a problem when I started editing that I didn't know if it's a short film or it's a feature film or what the film is about. So the editing process took 15 months. We were, the editor and me were searching for something that's interesting to us and to the situation we are in. And we recognized ourselves in Živan's dreams and troubles. So yeah, I think that I am sorry that we didn't make the planned film, but in a way I can always do that film again in a couple of years. So the editing process took 15 months, but it was not everyday work, of course. When we started, the first 2 months were almost every day, and we started from the end. And actually, half of the material that I had, I haven't been able to hear what Živan is saying, or all the other people, or what the real problems are, because it was shot during the music festival. So I only heard the music, I didn't hear him. The only guy who heard Živan was the sound recorder guy. So when we started to edit and we pieced together the image and the sound, I realized, oh, look at this, look at this. So I had so much ways that I could go to find the film. So we realized that we have to start from the end. We had a conversation at the end that I knew with the Dostoevsky guy, and we edited only that last 6 minutes of the film for those 2 months. And then we stopped, and then we didn't work for 3 months. And when I came back into the editing room, I had some new ideas. I realized that some stuff that we did were bad, and we started almost from the beginning. And that kind of pausing in the process happened 2 times more. But when we finished it, we knew that it's finished, and we knew that we're not gonna change anything anymore. And that's the first time I showed it to anyone, because while I was editing, I never showed the film to anyone. It's the first film I did like this. And it's the first film I did after film school. And in the film school, everybody is like telling you to show them the script, the material you shot, the first draft, the second draft of the first hand of the editing, the second hand of the editing. And of course, that's a good thing. But as I was making this film kind of secretly, and I didn't have a producer that would check on me, and I didn't have anyone that was asking me about when will it be over, when will it be, you show it. So I kind of had some freedom that I only had with the films I made before film school, and I really enjoyed it. And I don't know if I'm ever going to be in a similar situation. Maybe it's not clear, but it's a film about Živan making a punk festival without money. But we also made a film without money. Nobody was paid anything. So it was really not hard, but With my part, it was kind of maybe not so good to ask people to work, especially the editor who worked for 15 months, to work for free. But when you make this kind of story about this kind of character, I think that's the only way. And when you connect with him, and if you want to do it, you know, it also became a story of enthusiasm, not just Živan's but ours. Since I started going out to the concerts and gigs and going out to the when I was at the age to go out, and Živan was always some kind of interesting local figure that everybody knew, but nobody knew him enough or deep enough. And actually, before I shot my first film with him in 2008, I cannot say that I really knew him, because through that film and through the process of that film, I got to know his family. When you spend even a few days with him, you realize the life, you get the sense of that life. And in a way, we became friends through that film, through the first film. And with this film, both of us wanted to work again, and Živan wrote a script, and I wanted to make something new, not just a copy or to make a longer version of the first film. And actually, the good thing about, I think, this film was that he was preoccupied by other things. In the first film, he knew that we were making a film and he was acting a little bit for a camera. But here, you can sense that he's like, we don't exist. The film crew, like, we don't exist. He acknowledges us a few times, but he never looks at the camera. He never, even when I ask him a direct question, he looks in front of him. He was preoccupied by the problems of the organization of the festival. And that's a good thing, I think, even though it was difficult with the crew, and that, you know, not anything was organized from a film crew in Tomaševac, in his village. But for a film, I think it was a really good thing. And I didn't direct him. I couldn't direct him. I wanted him. A few times I tried to tell him, do this, but he wouldn't listen, because he had a constant fear that he's not going to be able to finish a lot of the things he had to finish for the festival. So in the end, I was a little afraid that because he didn't listen to me, I couldn't make anything out of it. And during the editing process, he didn't see anything. He knew that I was making a film, but he was the only one who was asking when will it be over, when will I see it. But he saw the film on the premiere. He didn't see it before. So yeah, his work on the film was only those 4 days that we shot. And the first screening we had, the premiere, was in front of only 100 people, but almost all of them knew Živan from some punk story. And they reacted normally, like really okay. So Živan was not so happy because he's used to applauses. And after the first screening, he told me, I don't think that we made a good film. And I said, okay, thank you. After a year and a half of working on it, you tell me that. But after the second screening, the Belgrade premiere, it was crowded, it's 800 people, and it was really something special. And Živan came to me and said, oh, I think that we actually did make a good film. That's when he started using we instead of you. And that's something that's interesting, and how he reacts as a kid in a way. He needs a confirmation from the others.